It's OK Football's Champ Chat, where we discuss the goings-on in the best league in the world, the Championship, and all the balls that have been kicked in this game week. With me, I got my co-host. I got Wedge.
Good morning.
I got Phil.
Good to see you all.
And, well, where should we kick this off? Who was the star of the week?
I think the surprise of the week has got to be Hull away to Sheffield United, don't we think? Starting off the weekend's activities with a 3-0 win away to Sheffield United.
It's mad. Mad result.
It's a mad result, but I think it's a statement of intent from Hull with what they've been doing recently as well. You know, Matty Crooks, what a finish.
What a signing.
And signing, yeah. And was it Joel Gelhardt that they've
from Leeds.
brought in?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's the best finisher, but he obviously offers them something, you know, going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I've always rated Gelhardt. I think he's fast, nippy. He's got a little bit of bite to him, a bit of an ankle snapper, you know, sort of thing. With
something you kind of need when you're at the bottom of the Championship.
He's a proper worker,
half,
and he'll be hungry because he's had virtually no games. So I think that's an excellent signing, personally.
Yeah. The biggest winner from that game are the other three. Well, Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley. But interestingly, Sunderland failed to that they must hate Plymouth.
Oh, I mean, we in our predictor league we had them all down as 3-0 winners at Sunderland. Like
Did
when
we?
you think, all of us, and you think about the turmoil that has been in the camp at Plymouth with Whittaker Gate, if you want to call it that, and the fact that he's been a bit of a naughty boy and decided that he doesn't want to play, and he's sort of one outlet is saying that he had a dead leg, and then the manager comes out and says he didn't turn up on time. So that's been a source of frustration, I'm sure, for the Green Army. But to go away to Sunderland and those guys that have done that trip, I mean, what an unbelievable trip that is. If they've done that, brilliant. And they deserve that. For those fans deserve that. But the sense of frustration for the Mackems, I mean, on my word, like bottom of the league, Plymouth, like say they're sort of in a sense of turmoil. We're coming to our place, you know. It's not like we're going away. They're coming to our place, and there's a chance. There's a kink in the armour of the three that are above us potentially. Two of them are playing against each other. The other one's taken a loss, and they couldn't get it over the line. So
here's a stat. So 40% of all of Plymouth's away goals have come against.
40%?
40% have come against Sunderland, and 19% of their total goals have been scored against Sunderland.
Wow.
That's mad.
Oh,
it's absolute madness.
Yeah.
And I do think Sunderland are going for the playoffs because they've lost that little bit of
It's these kind
momentum.
of results which I think is going to stop them getting into the top two. They're letting in a few goals. You know, the victories they get are hard fought, come from behind as well. And I think that by 10 games to go, I think that will just be a little bit too much for them, too much in the legs. And I mean, they've had a great season, taking nothing away from Sunderland, but I just don't think.
If you flip it though, if you flip the lens of it, and you think, right, I know it's another game week, and it could have been something to gain an advantage on, which I understand, but say Burnley and Leeds draw. Sheffield United lose, they've not really lost anything over the course of everyone's still right in it.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee.
There's positivity to be had there.
Leeds game's going ahead either at the moment, is there? So possible postponement because of the storm and things. So
yeah, it's not the end of the world for him. But like I say, it's one of those horrible ones as a football fan. You're like, there's an opportunity
90th
missed.
minute as well.
Opportunity missed. Yeah.
Conceded, wasn't it? But
But it's a good result for Plymouth, and it's quite telling for the relegation battle, which I want to say has heated up. It kind of has. Portsmouth lost convincingly, but it's a point gained on Luton. It's a point gained on Derby.
Yeah,
really opens it up at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean Luton and Derby are the ones that are sinking like a stone.
Yeah, but one of them just came up from League One.
Yeah,
and one of them went came down from the Prem.
Yeah. But the point is, in terms of like the form guides, those two are absolutely plummeting. And Plymouth will be looking at them thinking, right, well, if we can just make it, if we can tighten up to them first aim, then the next aim, we start looking at your Pompeys, we start looking at Cardiffs. I know that Cardiff are on a great run, but like I say, that you get what I mean. The next sort of plethora of teams that are in and around that dotted line.
We got Luton. Millwall, after conceding 97th minute midweek, that 3 points for them against Luton is huge for them because they were going through a torrid time. So I think that's going to give them a lot of confidence. It kind of takes them away from the dotted line a little bit.
It does. It gives them a lot of safety. Like prior to this, like their only win in their last 10 was against Dagenham and Redbridge in the FA Cup. And before that, Blackburn. Their 1-0 win against Blackburn. Before then, their last win was November against Leeds. And Dr. Luton have cured them of their ills.
I said last week when we were looking at Millwall, their next 4 or 5 games are all against teams in the bottom half, and what a way for them to kickstart that little run of games for them.
Stoke are the other one that are sort of down there. They obviously played out a boring draw yesterday, but they're another one that will be looking over their shoulders, I reckon. Yeah.
Point against Oxford, the form that's
a good point.
They're in.
He's good against Oxford.
And Stoke have obviously lost Tom Cannon, which is a big loss, but they brought in Ali Al-Hamadi, who reportedly failed a medical at West Brom.
Oh, really?
So that's an interesting one, like especially if he breaks down. But he's a right talent. He's a real talent, Al-Hamadi.
West Brom clearly need the goal-scoring powers of him. Pumped 5 past Pompey yesterday.
I think that's a result which West Brom must have thought has been coming.
That's been coming for like the whole
5-0 at half-time.
Yeah.
Poor Portsmouth fans.
Yeah.
There's a couple of glaring goalkeeping errors there for Portsmouth. The first goal was straight at him, and he just basically palmed it into the own.
Did you see
corner.
Speaking of like goalkeeping errors, did you see the Derby keeper?
Oh my God!
Palm one, a really slow, rubbish Callum Robinson shot.
It was a P-roller, and just here you go, have another chance.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, it was one of those ones where if you were sort of looking at dubious betting, you'd be going, hang on a minute, look at that one. That was poor.
It was a really poor piece of goalkeeping.
Proper Rick, that was. Yeah. Proper one. But again,
good week for Robinson, isn't it? Yeah. Good week for Robinson. 2 goals against Swansea and another goal for him.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy enough when that goal against Swansea, where Harry Darling gives you like the freedom of Wales, and in this one, when the goalkeeper's just pushing the ball straight out to you, it was awful. Because Callum Robinson's never been the most prolific, but he looks like he's really enjoying scoring goals because it's never really happened for him, has it?
No.
And a team like Cardiff who are down there, they'll take all the luck they can get.
Absolutely.
And they're put on a fine little run at the moment.
Compound the misery on and suck Derby back into it as well. So really, really good.
Yeah, it's Tony Mowbray back in the hot seat. West Brom.
Yeah.
And this is great for him, like back at the club where he pretty much, I don't want to say made his name, but he took them up to the Premier League. He had a very successful time. And now, fair play to him. Big win. Shame about no clean sheet. Nobody's perfect.
And that seems to be Portsmouth at the moment. They get a 3-0 at home, and then they get hammered away. And then, but I suppose if you're winning your home games, losing your away games, at least. But they're not clear at all, are they, Portsmouth?
No.
Still looking over their shoulder with Pompey.
I have a question for you guys. Who scored the better free kick yesterday?
Well, you're going to say Twine or Thorpe.
Twine or
Torp. I called him Thorpe.
Torpedo.
Yeah, Torpe.
Is what it should be. He absolutely belted it. I thought Torpe.
I thought with the dip on that, Scott Twine, I think the keeper could have done a little bit better on that. He almost looked like he was too scared to dive into the post on Scott Twine's free kick.
Scott Twine is a cheat code, though, free kick. We've spoken about him before. Like, he has a free kick and you just think, he's definitely getting it on target at the very least. And he's one of those ones you kind of know where he's going to go, but you still can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And there's such slow free kicks as well. Like Torps, he blasted it.
He did.
It was sort of like a Ronaldo
dipping over
the wall.
Yeah. So it was about 20 yards out Torps, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So to get the ball up and over, it was great technique from Torp. Yeah.
Well, with Twine, I find if you like chocolate and you eat a chocolate, you're like, oh, that's really nice. But if you eat too much chocolate, then you're like, oh, I don't really like chocolate anymore. That's how I feel about Scott Twine scoring from free kicks. It's too frequent.
It's too frequent.
It's too frequent for me. Like,
do you remember
scoring from free kicks, mate.
Do you remember
Try scoring from open play.
Yeah. Which he can do.
Yeah, he did against Luton.
Fans,
Do you remember that really bang average free kick taker, David Beckham? He was rubbish, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Too much chocolate.
I know.
He was a set piece merchant.
That free kick against Greece in the qualifiers, I much preferred if he hadn't scored that. I mean, come on.
No.
Would have been nicer from open
Have some
play.
wine gums instead.
No, I thought that was a lovely couple of free kicks, but I thought for me it was Torp that was the one.
Shall we talk about Coventry for a bit? I'll tell you.
Well, I think that's 4 wins on the bounce for Frank Lampard.
3 wins on the
3
bounce.
wins. Okay,
but
well,
I think
we
they've
can't
gone
have
very under the radar. I mean, I've previously said their home form is impeccable. The last time they lost at home, beginning of November.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they kicked that off against Luton, I bet.
Yeah.
Dr. Luton. Dr. Luton sorting their home form out.
I believe their last loss, I think it was Derby at home, beginning of November. So they're
and then they had Luton the game after. They came back from 2 goals down. There you go, Dr. Luton. Yeah, fix them right up.
I'm going to correct you on that. We played them the week before.
Really? And then they lost.
I was at a gig at the end of October. So
look at you having a social life. Fair play, mate.
I know, and a pretty good memory sometimes.
But I don't want to say I like Frank Lampard as a manager, but the Cov fans do. He's doing a job.
Absolute job down there.
He can do a job when he has a ridiculously good squad, and that is exactly what Coventry have. They have easily a top 6 squad. We said that in our first ever show. Which is lost to the sands of time, I believe. We're bigging Coventry up, this and that, and Lampard has shown when he has a ridiculous squad, he can do bits.
Yeah.
If he was to assemble a squad by himself, no, then he would fail. And this Coventry squad is very, very, very good.
Yeah. It's 1 loss in the last 8 in all competitions for them. So they're a form team.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Kind
Such
of
a
Coventry of old.
The flip side too, they played Watford. They are, I think it's 2 wins in the last 6 or 8 for them.
Well, there's the whole
Cleverly's under fire.
Yeah, Cleverly's under fire, which is absolute shambolic.
Yeah. Everyone had them bottom.
I mean,
at the beginning of the season.
I was oh god, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I was listening to Troy Deeney yesterday on Talksport, and he
didn't agree with Troy Deeney.
I agree with Troy Deeney, and
that's as bad as agreeing with Jerry Barton.
No, it's not. Don't. But yeah, he was saying about the fact that Cleverly's come in and he's done a job where they were looking at relegation. They were looking at thinking that it was a case of staying up. They've exceeded expectations massively. Got a tidy little season going, and then all of a sudden they're looking to get this fella in and ship him off again. I think so. Yeah.
But that must have just come out of the blue.
There was a stat.
I think Potso's been working on it for weeks.
Yeah, but there's a stat that it was like they've had 11 permanent managers. This is not including the caretakers. 11 permanent managers in 5 years. You've got a guy that's doing well.
He's popular as well. I was listening to BBC Three.
He's brought the fans together.
They're saying they're the most popular since Graham Taylor. Apparently.
I mean the way that he conducts himself in his interviews as well, and he's rebuffed sort of like these claims of his job being in jeopardy, etc. He does seem to conduct himself really, really well. They're not a side that should be looking at automatic promotion. That, like I say, playoffs would have been a massive
and they're still only 3 points away from the playoffs.
Exactly, they're not a million miles off. So what's this fella going to do? I just find that, I mean, personal stuff aside, I find the Potsos and Watford just an absolute basket case for club. I just can't get to grips with how, as an owner, you can think that that's a sustainable model. His answer
within reason. If a manager is doing really badly, then I understand it. But look at the Premier League season when they got relegated. So, as Luton fans, we are sort of intimately acquainted with Watford, and my cousin is a Watford fan as well. I'm a Luton fan, as we know. Although we're unbiased. When Cisco Munoz got promoted with Watford, he took 7 points from 7 games. And they went straight back down because who they bring in after him? They brought in, was it Claudio Ranieri? And they brought in Claudio Ranieri, then
And then was it Roy Hodgson that
Roy
eventually
Hodgson
took
took them down.
Yeah.
But they had 3 managers that season. I'm struggling to think who. No. It was. No, Hodgson took them down. Who was it in the middle? They had someone in the middle.
Don't know.
I can't recall.
But yeah, they got rid of Xisco Munoz, who had them a point a game. I think it was 7 games, 7 points, which was all right. And then the wheels came off when they brought in Ranieri, and I loved it when Hodgson sent them down at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And he went around clapping the Palace fans. I love that. You know. But the fans are quite right to be agreed, because Cleverley's probably the best manager they've had for a long time. He's brought the fans back together, and I don't want to talk about Watford anymore.
No. Yeah, let's talk about someone else. Let's talk about a different team in yellow. Norwich.
Norwich.
Josh 5-1.
Josh Sargent returns.
Afforded the absolute freedom of the 18-yard box for the first goal as well. I mean, clever through ball. No one was expecting a reverse ball, I think, with that particular angle on it. But my goodness, if you're going to leave a guy unmarked, you don't leave Josh Sargent unmarked like that.
It's a good return. I know he played midweek and last week, but he's been injured since October, hasn't he? So great.
The last goal was fantastic. The lob.
Yes,
the lob was perfect.
No, Norwich. I think we all knew that they were going to be fine. They're just very sort of streaky. Rubbish one day, and for a couple of weeks, and then the next week they're going to absolutely tank a team.
Very much like Swansea. You think Swansea are always going to be safe, but
Swansea had a disaster
week. They got nothing up top though. Like their goals come from all over the pitch, and Vipotnik, I don't rate him. They need a striker if they want to be like sort of next level, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they were turned over midweek in far less convincing fashion. But like as a Swansea fan, surely you'd be thinking, right, we've taken a tanking against Cardiff, we've lost at home. With by the way, that going back to that game, Harry Darling's the red card, not a good one, And then they've obviously been turned over by 5 at Norwich. So it's been a bad week.
Do you remember the last time that Swansea won?
Was it Luton?
It was.
Oh,
shock horror.
Dr. Luton will see you now.
Emergency.
Doctor, this team haven't won in 10. Don't worry, I know
Line up
what
the
to
hatters.
give you. 100 cc's of Luton. Straight to the heart, that will fix you. Oh dear. God, Luton is so shit.
That's so bad. Oh God, it's so bad. Oh dear. Who else can we? Let's not talk about Luton either. Who else can we talk about?
Preston's a good. Preston were a good result against. Middlesbrough,
oh my God! Did you see the defending?
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's like the Luton is contagious.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
Middlesbrough playing beach football. Trying to keep the ball up and stuff. Oh God, it's terrible.
They just needed to punt it upfield, but they passed it to 2 players that looked like they were having a breather, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh God, I got the ball. What do I do?
And then Emil Rees-Jacobson has a go, and this one I'm directing to Luton fans, because I know Luton fans watch this show as well. Everyone was saying the point against Preston was a rubbish point. You can't really sniff a point, but they're saying Preston, they didn't even come to attack. You know what? Since that Luton game, they've beaten Watford and Borough, both 2-1.
Yeah. We kept a clean sheet.
We kept a clean sheet
Preston.
against them. We didn't let them play against us. Like, regardless of whether they came for a point, came to not win.
Clean sheets, Garner points.
Clean sheet against a team that, and I think that was Emil Rees-Jacobson's 7th goal in 8 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I spoke to Ollie from the Butter Pie Pod, I was said about Rees.
Hell of a player.
He's a great player, but he's out of contract, I think, at the end of the year. So there's, I think he's not been playing so much because of that sort of thing. And it's a weird thing with Preston, because they're a bit going to be controversial here. Here we go. I'll get it this week, Ali. Don't worry. They've got a whiff of the sort of Bristol Cities and Stokes bound, because they're always sort of in that middle bunch that don't ever. They sort of flirt sometimes. Sometimes they're given a bad run of form, they'll flirt with the relegation zone. They're never really, not for years, been involved in a playoff push, and so they're sort of always in the middle. But they've renewed a lot of their defenders' contracts.
Yeah, Liam Lindsay got a new deal.
Yeah.
Who's that big clogger that's next to him? trying to think of his name.
Yeah, he got booked against
He's a massive-
Story.
Yeah, Story.
Yeah.
He's had a long-term extension as well, and everyone's getting on at Ridsdale because I think Ridsdale's like one of the worst football men you can have in football.
But
he's not overextending like he did at Leeds.
Well, he's not overextending, and it's one of those. It's a situation where it comes down to what you want and how progressive you want to be, and ultimately Preston they're not going to go down with that back unit. They might find it difficult to move forwards, but it's safe. Do you know what I mean? It's a safe bet. So I can understand that they want a bit more ambition, the fans, but. Yeah, it's like I use Bristol as obviously they're having a good season. They're looking upwardly mobile sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, they're only 3 points out the playoffs themselves. But we know that their usual habitat is around 12th, 14th sort of thing.
Bang on mid-table. Yeah. Well, the reason why they can keep sort of in that playoff picture is because a lot of the teams in the playoffs they're dropping off. They're dropping points.
Borough.
They're all inconsistent. There's the top four that's running away with it, and then everyone from 5th to 12th is just wildly inconsistent. That's why people like QPR have been able to, and Sheffield Wednesday, who you said and quite rightly so that they got an outside shot at the playoffs. That's why they're able to get into that playoff picture. But it's like 8 teams going for 2 spots now.
You could even extend it all the way down to 15th place with Oxford. Genuinely.
Yeah, well, on the run of form they're on, they could have a go.
5th place is 44 points, and 15th place is 36 points. It's 8 points between 5th and 15th. Like, all it takes is a run, and we've been saying like even teams that are slightly below that. You look at Millwall; they've got a game in hand. They can go to 37 points. They've got a really favourable run moving forward of fixtures. Like, anything can happen in this league, other than Luton winning.
And Derby. Let's bring Derby into this as well.
Do Luton have to play Derby again? Do Luton have to play Derby again?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, God,
Away.
what's going to happen there?
0-0.
I don't
Well,
think. Can both teams lose?
They've got rid of the hatters within the squad. They've got rid of Collins and Bradley, so we'll probably lose.
Yeah, Colo got an assist, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've heard Bradley's pissed as well because he's gone to Wickham and then literally straight away
gone.
Bloomfield's disappeared.
Yeah.
So, shame for Sonny.
Sorry, Sonny.
Well, let's finish this with Sheffield Wednesday and QPR, 2 teams that could quite rightly get into the playoffs.
2 very informed teams, and
I think QPR were on a hell of a run of form. I think this was their first loss in the league since Swansea beat them 3-0 on Boxing Day.
And at home, I think it's the first loss in 6 at home. I think they won
QPR
5 on the
very
bounce.
Good at home, haven't they? Loftus Road's been a fortress.
They've been fantastic.
Recently, so
all runs come to an end, don't they? So, but I think they've still got the confidence where they can carry on and again, make that that playoff push. It'll be a hell of an achievement if they manage to. But is there too much? Is there too much traffic in the way? But as you say,
you just got to keep winning. Yeah, you just got to keep winning your games.
It's weird. I kind of, with the Sheffield Wednesday side of the things, I really am torn about whether I want them to get in a playoffs or not, because their owner, I really want him to suffer, but that's one guy. When you think about their fans and you think about how good of a job Danny Roll's doing, you kind of think, actually, I'd give him a shot.
Journey
He's wanted for the fans more than for Chansiri.
Definitely. But like I mean, we spoke about the Potsos earlier on, and Chansiri's another one. He's an absolute schmuck. So what are you guys, before we do wrap up, what are your guys' predictions for Burnley Leeds tomorrow night, Monday night?
I can't remember what I put in for the Sluga 6.
We not got it.
I think 0-0. I think 1-0. They weren't in there.
No.
In my championship predictions, I think I predicted 1-0 Burnley. Burnley are the only team that are yet to concede double-digit goals. They're still on 9 goals conceded.
Well, they equalled Chelsea's record of the least amount of goals conceded after a certain amount. But
Chelsea did that in the Premier League.
I know, but still,
it's still John Terry, impressive. Carvalho, Ashley Cole.
It's still a hell of a achievement, isn't it? You know, 28 games are we now?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow NFL, but JJ Watt is part owner or he's invested in Burnley. Obviously retired a few months ago, and James Trafford said that if we don't concede another goal for the rest of the season, will you come out of retirement and play for the Bengals, who are a big rival of the Steelers, who JJ, what did he anyways,
James Trafford's such a knob.
Yeah, he's a little bit wary of what's going on now. Yeah, he's like, we haven't conceded
2
for
penalties last week.
When was the last time they conceded? It's quite a while ago, isn't it?
Long time. They will concede. They will.
They will. Yeah, against Leeds.
The Texans, not the Steelers.
Well, you think Leeds are going to win?
Yeah. Ooh. I'm going 2-0 Leeds. 2-0 Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the games which sets it up for anything can happen, really, can't it? You know.
I feel like Burnley when Burnley played Sheffield United a few weeks back, I remember thinking Sheffield United would turn them over, and Burnley did an absolute number on them. So I'm not underestimating Burnley. I just fancy Leeds.
They found their goal scoring boots midweek, didn't they? Against,
they did. They certainly did
against Plymouth. So
yeah. Well, most teams score against Plymouth.
Yeah, they do.
So Sunderland, for the top 2 push, this is a very vital game, especially with Sunderland dropping points.
Yeah.
And Sheffield United losing.
If you're looking at Sheffield United and Sunderland, they're looking at a Burnley win, aren't they? You know, Leeds can't go another 3 points.
Yeah, they are. They'll want to draw, I reckon, just to keep them both sucked into it. Yeah. But
to be honest, for them, a draw is just the best result, isn't it? Yeah.
Dan James will be the man. Yeah, the first.
He's so good.
Yeah, I always thought he was just a speed merchant that didn't have a lot else, but
he used to be
this season properly on it. So yeah, I'm going
for player.
Yeah, I'm going for that.
Yeah, but that's it. That's it for Champ Chat this week.
Yeah,
remember, we're done. Well, remember, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel for even more Championship content. Big thank you to the Bricklayers Arms. As you can tell, we're not in our regular location. Trying out the new snug in the Bricklayers Arms. Lots of board games. It's all fun for the family. Good beers as well on tap. Come on down, just not on match days if you're not a Luton fan. Big thank you to our audio partners Blackstar Amplification and Carry On for making sure that we sound great. And also a big thank you to the record shop in Amersham. Wherever you are in the country, if you collect vinyl, CDs or guitars, go down, check them out. They're pretty excellent. Mention the OK Football Show. You will get a cheeky discount. But whoever you support, have a great week, guys.
Take care, guys.
Take care.